Right, okay, great to have you here, Jason Gillard here.
Thanks
from
for
Mercury Fitness.
Welcome everybody.
Welcome to the show.
Podcast.
So podcast number 5. Nearly got it wrong there. Number 5. We're on 5.
I think it's 5.
Yeah, definitely 5. We've had too many people in the show now.
Yeah, 5.
But it was obviously
4 before me is quite a lot to remember.
I mean, it is a lot. It is. I mean, our maths isn't great here. But yeah, no, pleasure to have you on the show. We had Jace here at our event at Limitless a few weeks ago.
Yep.
Great job. He was getting everyone in shape. He was making them. He was even making Annie's mum do a bit of hard work.
My mum got through paces.
She was doing.
And she was faster than you, Andy, and she listened to all the instructions.
Exactly.
Was handy.
Correct after it. She was ready for more.
Yeah, there'll be plenty more of those coming as well too. So Jason will hopefully get involved in more of those over the next couple of weeks. But so we'll have a little chat about you, get a little bit of information about you, about where you sort of started your career. So you started in the military. So
yeah, I joined the army at 19 in 2000.
Why did you join the army?
Why did I join the army? Because my dad was in the army and I grew up in that lifestyle. Plus, it was just something that interests me, and you got paid to wear uniform, and chicks dig the uniform as well. So yeah, I decided to join the army, and
so it was kind of following in father's footsteps. The
Gillard tradition. You know his granddad.
Do you have other family in the military?
No, I'm an only child. No tears.
That's okay. Well, we're not your friends. We're your brothers now.
Well, that's it. Yeah. So I joined the military, and then it started from there, and then I did 13 years in the army.
No, it was just you left school. I went straight in.
No, went to college because I liked playing rugby.
Yeah.
Bombed around for a good year and a half. Did one course, finished that, then started BTEC National Diploma in Sports Science.
Okay.
And then I was just bombing around. I wasn't turning up to lessons. I wasn't academically good, to be honest, but I enjoyed training and enjoyed the college lifestyle. Who doesn't?
Yeah, of course, exactly. You got to enjoy yourself there.
Yeah, exactly. And then I was realising I didn't have any money as a student.
Yeah, that's we all.
We all face this one. Predicament.
Yeah.
So I left that. I left college and then I worked. Got a job while I was trying to join the army. I didn't get in the army first time because I was in a bus crash. And yeah, it was alright. Don't worry. I survived.
Not too
Look at the
extreme.
violins out just yet.
No, just yet. But basically, because of that, when I went for my selection, they said, "Oh, you've had a back injury." Sorry, and I was fully fit, willing to smash it out. But they said, "Sorry, you have to go away for a period." So I had to get a job, and my mum and dad got me a job where they worked. It was in this factory, and never worked with family.
This is after your dad left the army?
Oh, he left years ago. Yeah, 92. And then I was working in this factory while I waited for my time before I joined, and then I got straight out there. So that's why I joined when I was 19, which I would have joined earlier, but my dad actually didn't want me to join.
Summarise your military career. Summarise what that experience was like. I know it's hard to do. 13 years.
A roller coaster of fun.
Fun?
Yeah, of course it was. It was great. It was good.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love running around?
Plenty of memories. Plenty of
Exactly. Fun. Ran on helicopters, getting a suntan.
Were you actually deployed?
Yeah. Iraq once, Afghanistan twice, and then the Northern Ireland.
Have you heard his northern accent?
It's fantastic.
Come through.
It's a bit nerdy. Why don't know, Jim?
It's actually very impressive. It's got a weird hearing aids because you go from one to another.
My master learning,
Exactly.
so that's what I picked up. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. I just had to. I knew you wanted to.
No, you wanted to get that in.
You want to exactly.
Practicing all day.
Three tours.
3 tours, at Northern Ireland, but it's good, mate. It was all good, all gravy. So yeah, it was epic. It was
a few probably tough times across.
No, mate. Yeah, obviously there is what it is and what happened, but I was lucky in that respect.
Yep.
So it's a life experience that has moulded, and has actually, when we go on and talk a bit more, is actually what has then implemented what I do with fitness.
Yeah, exactly. So obviously go along that fact then. So obviously you left at, what age did you leave at?
I can't
Go on, 13.
So 5 years
He's young.
Put it there, 2013.
what way does it work? Are you allowed to leave after a certain amount of tours, or you just do
No,
certain amount of time?
you have to do, when you sign up, you then have to do a minimum 4 years, and then you have to give a 1 year's notice.
Oh wow.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's not this, you're in for 22 years.
Oh,
don't get me wrong, I'd be in there today.
Yes.
But it's a usual love story of Englishman comes to Northern Ireland, meets a Northern Irish beauty, and she then,
Did we all say that a couple of podcasts ago? The heart always leads.
Yeah,
always leads.
But yeah, I met her in Cecily, my wife.
You met her in Sicily?
No.
Cecily, very, very unique name.
I would say, yeah.
So I met her POF. I can't really told us everything. Plenty of fish, and then I met her, and I was going away to Afghan 2 months later. I met her, and then just from there, and then so I got out, and then the transition's been easy. So how old was I then? It was 2013. What am I now? 37. So that's 5 years. So 32 when I left. So still well in my prime.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was an easy decision after you met the lovely lady.
Do you know what? There's a thing called the 7 clicks. It takes you 7 clicks to get out. So you have to go online, you have to do 7 clicks. And don't get me wrong, I loved it, and I would still be in today if I hadn't met her. But at the end of the day, life's more important than a job.
100%.
Now, it isn't a job, it's a way of life,
Yeah.
but it's only a job at the end of the day. And if you meet someone, that's it.
Love took you out of the military, but then was there ever a moment you were like, right, my goodness, what now?
I did have a game plan, and it still wasn't fitness yet. It was to go, and so I was basically leaving the army to work with all ex-squaddies, so I wasn't leaving. I went into security in Afghan and Iraq. So yes, I went after.
She came out, and then you went back.
Yeah, because they paid bigger dollars.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
Very lucrative.
Yeah, it was at the beginning.
But that's high risk.
Well, yeah, the contracts I was on, it wasn't too bad. You did 2 hours work, and then you train twice a day. You sit in your bed.
Yeah.
But the hard bit was you're away from your family for 12 weeks.
Of course, yeah.
But no, it was. I was there, so I hadn't really left the military, if that makes sense. Yeah. I was in an environment where it was still with blokes who have the same mindset, who are of the same persuasion.
Yeah.
And then I was doing that for a good bit, and then I left in 2015.
So what was the biggest challenge in the military that you faced?
Biggest challenge?
Put him on spot here, mate.
That is.
You can take time to think about it.
A big challenge, not maybe
physically or mentally?
Just in general.
But could you both? Well, let's go then. Do one physical, one mental.
Physically, I did things called Lanyard Trophy, which is 40 miles, carrying 40 pound over places like Snowdonia.
That's ridiculous.
And this is what I go and talk about. When you think about that as an everyday person, because every day, no matter what people say in the armed forces, they were a civilian at the beginning. You're not. Yes, your mindset and the fibre makes you up, which we can go into. What makes a good athlete is normally fast twitch, slow twitch, fibre, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But fundamentally, you were civilian to go in and then to be doing events like that, and you're going, that's just crazy to think you could do it. But I did that 3 times, so decided that was I'll do it 3 times, and it is epic. So physically, there's that, but there's actually. I did a week course, can't really go into it.
A week course, I love it.
You get the Northern Ireland slangs coming in.
A week course.
And it was the mental, it was physically hell, but it was actually more the mental that would actually would break you. But yeah, there was nothing, I didn't actually find anything that was that difficult, if that makes sense.
And did you go up the ranks, or did you?
Yeah, I actually signed off and then come off the sergeant board, so I would technically remain a sergeant. But that's career progression is massive in the armed forces as well.
What would you say the ratio is in terms of challenging physical to mental?
In
general, of military life, what like
is
it all in your head, or is it not, or?
Yeah, but I love it when someone tells you that it's all in the head. Yeah, that is partly the rubbish. You're not physically fit. And as much as they say it's on your head, your body's not going to. I want to go 100 mile an hour.
Yeah,
the body's not going to let you.
No,
so it's a hard. Everything's mental, but it's like everything, isn't it? It's whatever you do physically, the mental aspect, attitude is going to affect what you do physically. Yes, but it's a thing I go into. I've got a triangle of well-being, which I try to tell clients, which is you've got mental, physical, and nutrition, and if you don't get the top one right, the bottom two won't work, but the bottom two will affect what the mental thinks.
Okay.
So I never, but personally, because I enjoyed it, I didn't actually find it that taxing. And I know people say, they moan. I just embraced it and loved it. It was for me. It was fitted for me. You know what I mean? It didn't. I took to a duck like water with it because, and so it didn't feel like it was.
Effectively, your 20s were all military.
Everything, the whole 20s, yeah. My 30th birthday was in Afghan.
Yeah.
That was brilliant. Yeah, no drinks.
Oh, my birthday's in Portugal or home were great.
And then, I think my 28th was in Iraq.
Yeah.
29th in England. 27th, 30th was in Afghan. But it didn't bother me because I was you get in there.
You were with the brothers.
No, it was because you were saving money because you couldn't spend it.
True.
So when you go back and you're getting a tan,
then
when you go back, you live like a rock star for a month, and then you're broke again.
Yeah.
The more you get, the more you blow.
Now, was that we were talking about it earlier on off air? You did the post. Was that post on the military stuff you did? The recent post you wrote? You wrote or
was that on last night?
Yeah. Or was that on? That wasn't. Or was it on?
What all I was talking about?
Yeah.
That was. I was trying to with that post trying to explain to because the worst thing for someone who comes to the class is you're there telling them what to do.
Yeah.
Okay, and in the end they go, "That's all well and good for you, just standing there."
Yeah.
Because some things I'll make them do, they'll just go, "Come on, Jay." Okay.
Yeah.
So I put the post, and what I wanted them to understand was I understand where they're being with. I didn't just sprout up and then there was no effort, and I got to to be physically fit, and there was no effort. So what I want to do is to give them insight that when they're hurting, when they're sore, when they don't think they go on, I've been there.
Yeah.
I've done things, and that it's and I put in it that I did an event and I physically couldn't walk.
Yes.
At the end of it, I put that much effort in, but I didn't win. But it didn't matter because I went to my physical limitations. And that, so when they're
there's each person's have got their own limit. Like
Exactly.
we talked about the limitless event itself. You push. I think it was your mum and there was a lady who was with her as well. You were like, go to your level because at the end of the day, everyone's have different levels. People are not. I have a different level to you, to Leo, to you. So that that's a good point. That's a really good point.
I always say to my people on boot camp, it doesn't matter if I say do 10 reps or something, but you do 6 and that's your maximum. That's your 10.
Yeah, exactly.
That one person 10. Don't worry about them. And motto of my boot camp is the hardest part of the battle is taking the first step. And normally for people getting into exercise, they're so. The one thing that's good about the boot camps is a gym to them is a place that they feel uncomfortable with because they're walking in, they think everyone's looking at them, which they're not. Yeah. They see mirrors, so they potentially don't like their body shape. Yeah. And that when in a boot camp, you come there, you haven't got any of them. You can wear baggy clothes if you want because everyone's baggy because it's quite chilly. It's Northern Ireland, it's very rarely warm.
Other than those 1 or 2 months we had there last.
Unheard of, but once you take that step and then you see actually no one gives a monkeys.
Yeah.
You just do what you can do.
Yeah,
and that's what I try and instill in it. But
So, transitioning from the military and finding health and fitness, how did that happen?
Well, when I was in the army, I went and did my army physical training instructor's course. Mm-hmm. Epic. I loved it. And again, that's what I love the ethos. Now, it was a pretty. I'm not going to obviously using swear words, but it's
all PG. All PG here.
You do things and go, why have I been doing this? But it was brilliant because you start to finish, you get there, and it's a different mindset in the respect of a physical trainer in a PT. The normal PT here is I had to do a fitness selection week at the beginning just to be allowed to go on the course. Cool. Mm-hmm. So you tip up, you have to be able to run under a certain time, you have to do a certain amount of press-ups, sit-ups in a certain time.
Mile and a half.
Yeah, mile and a half in under 9.5 minutes.
And is that quick?
Quick enough. Quick enough, yeah. But you run as fast as you can.
Okay.
And then you do an 8 mile march with a 55 pound on your back. You just swim tests, stuff like that. Then you were allowed to do the course. You had to go on the course and you had to pass a set standards. So in that respect, it's a little different than you would be on PT here. Not that it's not fit.
It's a nice actually thing that you have to actually be fit enough to do because here you can just apply for it online, you get it.
Exactly.
And there's so many PTs that make their clients do stuff that they couldn't do themselves.
Exactly.
Well, that's definitely one thing I've always said. I'll never ask you to do anything I'm not willing to do myself. And a couple of my videos and stuff like that we're going to do. you'll see me doing exactly what they do. When I got rucksacks and I take them out, my bag will be the heaviest. But that was when you're in the army. If you don't keep your standards, you're not allowed to take the class.
That's great.
So only if they consider you, he's put a few pounds on. But it's that, and it's something different now. Of course, there's fit PTs, there's fit instructors, but you know that every single person who's done that had to pass that standard. Whereas here, now don't get me wrong, they could be rubbish because you can get boys who are fit, doesn't mean they can instruct.
That's true.
But if you're, for the first of us, are you of a standard? Then we can see who's the good instructors. I think it's something that maybe they should implement in here, but we know that straight away be the discrimination and opportunity.
Of course.
And the good thing is, and I have to say, the army, it says an equal opportunity employer. It isn't. And for good reason. If you're too overweight, you can't join. If you're certain criteria you don't meet, you can't join because. And that is right so. Because when we're on the course, if you're female, you have to hit the same time as
you say, there's a standard.
Which is totally fair. I mean, that's like anything.
If you're expecting people to protect the country, you would expect those people to be of a certain standard of fitness. But
then we'll go into as well later. Actually, that is not always the case.
Of course.
Which I had on the post. So because I was a physical training instructor, and I then did that for 9 more years until I left. And I was so basically what I do is I would train lads in my unit, and at one point I worked in the regimental gymnasium. So I was taking on a Friday, we would have 300 people doing PT, or they call it PT, physical training, and it was epic. It was brilliant. So I would make up these mad days. Exercise, and Friday was brilliant. You'd have 300 people, and one time I had them doing the fox and the hounds. So we had this big area, and they all had to tip up with a sock. Now this is what I love about my classes, making it different and fun. So everyone had to tip up with their issued sock.
Tip up means walk up?
Yeah, they obviously paraded at 11 o'clock. So I was there, and everyone's had their sock, and everyone's going, what the hell have we got a sock for? And what we did was we had 4 squadrons. One of them was Gurkhas. So you ever seen from Nepal? Gurkhas.
Yeah.
So had them, good little lads. And so we had one of them, and we had the other 3 squadrons. And I said, right, used to put your socks in the back of your shorts, right? Used to, and this is 200 people versus 200. Yous are going to run and hide, right? So they had to run and hide, but what they had to do was get back to this massive circle. Try and get back. If they were caught, there was a massive waiting area of about 10 PTIs all waiting there. So if you got there, that's it. Your PT session starts. You're going to get absolutely rammed. And you saw these people hiding in trees, and then I'd go the town I'd go, and this is a big. We're talking about a 68, 70 acre site.
Wow.
And then they're all running, and all these people, 100 people for half hour running after each other, just sprinting. But they're working out, but they're having fun. And then when they're caught, they're then put in the workout area. And then how many people they got in the circle, and then when they changed over, I got them all in, had to change over. Then depending on who got as many people in was the winning 2 teams.
I see.
So it was incentive to them to get in. Instead of, you could have just hid there and went. There's probably some people did get fags out.
Just chill out, exactly.
So I come from there and I was training lads for 9 years. Lads go to Afghan. I actually did PT sessions in Afghan and Iraq. So I was training training lads and stuff like that in hostile environments.
Controversial question. Were you in the best shape of your life then, or are you in the best shape of your life now?
Oh, no, obviously.
No doubt. Different specs of needs, should we say. I needed to be robust enough, endurance-wise, to do, because in the day, whatever you want to take with you, you have to carry. So that's it. So
that would be difficult, because if you get yourself bigger, as well as carrying this, that's an extra.
Well, you'll find a lot of boys. You see some big lads, and who couldn't. You get naturally big lads. You think are going to be great carrying the weight, and not necessarily cardiovascular because the pace. You can probably plod along, but sometimes the pace you go at, like that event I put on last night, it was 16 miles. I think I did it in 2 hours 30. But I was carrying 35 pounds, and it was over rolling terrain in Salisbury. And when I look at that, I was thinking about the pace of that, but I had to stop, and you actually had to do a shoot, so you had to actually hit a target,
Oh, wow.
but that your time keeps them going. You have to stop. Then the safety protocols.
Okay.
So it's not a case of running, warm up, shoot. You have to take your time. So that's added.
Okay.
You know, when you're talking, I was probably pushing six miles an hour, carrying that weight over that terrain. That's a fast pace. You know, when most people say how fast you ran in just their trainers and nothing, you know,
There's no other exercise. As little kit as you can.
So I was so fit that way.
Yeah.
But then it wasn't until I got later that I then started progressing into weights.
Yeah, of course.
But then trying to find a good balance. So in a sort of respect, no, there's no way I was better than I was when I was trying.
No. Well, can you compare then? So you did a lot in England. So whereabouts in England?
I spent half my career here.
Okay, yeah. So could you say the difference between like the Northern Irish? I don't want to say that too harsh because we're Northern Irish, but the mentality, fitness wise, compared to maybe English people that coach, is there a difference between the two? Or?
I would say there's no difference.
No.
But I would say that if we go in, that the way the fitness path here is different to England.
Yes.
In that respect. And even probably down south. I'd say so how the train of thought or the way of going about training may be slightly different here than it is to England.
In which way?
I'd say they are thinking more ahead. They're actually progressively, and then here.
It's quite backward here in some.
Well, this is why Northern's good though.
It's good for testing. It's good for
if you've got an idea that you want to bring across, and you go the first one.
Yeah, for
sure. But it takes a longer time to seed in, which you find out.
Yeah, we find out ourselves. Yeah.
So then, how did you progress or transition into what you're doing now?
So I was doing another job, and I was going, this is rubbish.
I love your PC over here. It's great.
Yeah, it's rubbish. I was just looking at it going, you know, I was.
We respect all the viewers here, from kids right up to adults.
Exactly. Anyone can watch GoFit's podcasts and videos.
And I was working in actually the police station in custody. Okay. And I was having to deal with people getting arrested and. So if you've seen me before, please, I was always good to you. So I was there. I was doing that, going, is this really worth someone trying to smack my lumps out for £8.60?
Yeah.
And I thought, what was it good? And
was it hard to find a career outside the army?
Do you know what? The people say that, and it's like anything. Again, when you join, you're certain age.
Do you feel that you were well qualified, or was it hard to find a job with the qualifications you had coming out of the army?
Or is the question more that am I more institutionalised to adapt out?
I guess.
I would say I wasn't so much, but I can understand why a lot of lads are, because as much as that was my life, I could adapt to knowing, right, okay, I've got to change now. Whereas lads are like, no, you need to change to me. Like this whole thing. A lot of lads come back and I don't know if it fit into civilian life, stuff like that. At the end of the day, you can. But it is a hard period because how you want things done generally is not how it's people. At the end of the day, and rightly so, they're here to make money. Whereas in the army, it's not a money making thing. So you are given a task. You then have to make it work. But here people go, what are you going to pay me to do that?
Yeah.
Whereas here, you need to find that solution, and there's no money involved. It's not. So I think that's what they don't quite understand. Was I prepared? In qualification, I'd say my fault. I wasn't. Not that the armed forces didn't prepare me. Yeah. Because they, believe it or not, they are willing to give you everything.
Yeah. You do.
And I was just too bothered. I didn't think I was going to leave, so I just looked at that, which you have to leave at one point. Yeah. You're not going to stay forever unless you go underground during your career. Not really known. But so they would have given me the tools, but
you just didn't take the time.
I didn't take it. And then I went and did it. They paid for my qualification to go and do, which was £4,000 to go and do close protection. Yeah. But then she looked at me and went, really, is that what I'm going to do after that? But they give me the grounding with as the physical training instructor, which is when then I come up with the idea. And I spoke to a mate, and he was doing one in Norwich, and he was doing really well. And I looked at it and went, I could do that. And then I looked at North Belfast and went, it hasn't really got a big boot camp environment whatsoever. And especially the military side. Now I understand why a little bit. People are very hesitant that way.
Of course. Anything military related is always a wee bit putting you up to tentative over here.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, we've gone. It's all I want to do is give them a style of training. I'm not caring about what political.
It's no political, exactly.
It's just about fitness and giving you an experience that and show you why the armed forces use that, because in the day they've got to make robust blokes who are the fittest and women who are the fittest that possibly could be. So I think it's a great tool, along with other training that you can utilise. So I looked and went, do you know what? I reckon I can set boot camp up. I live near Storm.
I would say he doesn't live near Stormont,
even though it's a big area. Actually, I do live in Stormont.
Physically,
no one else is there.
No one else is there.
We could have an indoor gym. Imagine that. Stormont gym.
You converted it all.
Stormont gym.
I like the run of that.
Yeah, we could have Arlene pumping some guns.
Be great,
we could have a wee boxing fight with Arlene and Michelle O'Neill.
Be great.
And then we could have what's her face. What's her Naomi Long. I reckon she'd be quite good. She'd be a good.
She's very aggressive on Twitter, so she'd be.
Yeah, Stephen Nolan's the umpire.
Yeah.
It'd be great. Anyway, so yeah, I looked at Stormont. Actually, that'd be a good place. So I started doing the boot camps there, and that's where I come from. So I started Mercury Fitness, which actually the name of it is, I was in the Royal Signals, and their cap badge is Mercury, the messenger of the gods.
Oh, nice.
So hence where I come, and if you look at my wee van, it's got my heels got a little wings on them.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, it's when we're looking at it, and yeah, so that's why I got the idea for the bootcamp, because I saw them, so I thought there was a gap.
How long have you been doing that currently?
About a year and a half now.
Cool. Fantastic.
Yeah, but I'm progressing on. I want to venture out, which obviously we'll talk about.
That's
How did you find the very first class?
Good. I did it for free.
Okay.
So, and it was actually all.
Was it hard to get people to go to that? Was it hard to market that if you're very first class?
A lot of things. One,
just to encourage people that are watching, maybe want to start a class and start some sort of fitness thing. How did you get started, and how would you explain to the audience what that process would look like?
I approached I'm trying to think what it's called. Very similar to the GoFit.
You're not plugging anyone.
GoFit, the council-led program, and I approached them, and they give me a bit of guidance. But fundamentally, what I did was I made a Facebook page. But one thing I struggled with, which is Northern Ireland is really big on, is community.
Yes,
for sure.
Because I wasn't from any community.
And people hear that this is nothing against the Englishman, but people can notice the accent straight away.
Even though your roots are from here.
So that's why I do my Northern Ireland accent now. So
just do it the rest of the time. Just continue to do it.
It's a strange thing about Northern Ireland. You nearly trust local people for some reason more than you trust somebody from England.
But I can understand why they want to trust an Englishman for the last 4 years.
Well, fair play, because that's been tough. That's true. You've done well considering that.
Well,
obstacle at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like you really
have. So you got help. And then what happened?
And then I went, made the page, and so I put on the bootcamp, and all the people at the bootcamp were actually from my daughter's creche, nursery. So I said, free bootcamp, come along, and then I basically got them to come along, so I got some photos to then just start populating the page.
Yes.
And then I started that, and then it wasn't for about 2 weeks, then after that, I said, right, okay, you start paying go, and it was only £3 pay as you go. For a class, just to start off, and then I slowly tried to build it from there. Now I was still working at the time,
of course,
and I was working shifts, so I was coming off shifts, a 12-hour a shift at night, to then stay awake to do a boot camp at 10 o'clock on a Saturday in Stormont, and then go on to a night shift again.
Okay.
So I went from there. So I had. My boot camp started slowly progressing, and then I left my job when I started trampoline fitness classes. I won't mention where.
Exactly.
Did you say you left the job? You took a risk when you in your mind, I want to hit this number of income before I leave my job. Was that how it worked?
I looked at when I did that transition to those classes. In the place we shall not name.
It's like Voldemort.
Don't name him. Don't give me any advertising. I went and looked at it and went, right, okay, that's gonna be big, because it was the only cyber class in Belfast. And I went from there, started that, and then it just progressed from there.
Nice.
I then went to another place who shall not be named either.
No names, no plugging whatsoever.
And then I was doing other classes, and then it wasn't until then that I then got my light bulb moment, should we say, from building boot camps. So I saw there was a boot camp, then I thought, like, what could I do and what's missing again from the fitness, should we say, menu. Okay, the menu, Northern Ireland's repertoire. Yeah.
French here, right?
Yeah. And my French is awful. And then I looked at it and went, do you know what? We haven't got a we haven't got a residential boot camp.
Yeah.
Which in comparison to the mainland would be somewhat popular.
Well, they're growing, so obviously there's a market.
Yeah.
At the time, where I come from it was unsuccessful, so I basically looked and went, there's a bridal fitness. No one's doing bridal fitness. Yes. So I actually went to the Wedding Journal and had a stand twice. Hasn't worked.
No.
Didn't work. But what it did give me was my reason was when because I was getting married myself, was how big a day is it for the bride? They'll do anything to get in that dress.
Anything.
Yeah. So to help them facilitate that, what could I do that I didn't need to be? Because in the day, if you're in Ballymena, you're not going to come to Belfast for a boot camp.
That's true.
No, but if you had to, you were willing to go away, to be locked away in a essence, a chef to do your food, a dietitian to design your food, and train all day. You will drop a lot of weight very quickly. So you will drop the weight. So that was my train of thought. But I went to and it hasn't taken off that respect because a lot of brides, they're
very tough formula to crack for a bride.
They're spending money, I suppose, and they don't want
they do spend a lot of money. They do spend a lot of money, and I was cheap as chips.
But they need to spend it in the right place, so then that is
it's completely right though. Like I've been to a few weddings and groomsmen a few times, and as you say, they will do anything to get the dress.
That's tough. I actually went round to all the dressmakers.
Let's give the card to
them. I went and said, look, do you ever have a bride go, I'm going to get in this dress, come 2 weeks before, they're not, And I said, it's easier to bring a dress in than it is to try and extend it.
Of course,
And she was like, yes, I could have done with you 4 months ago. So I said, look, I've got this idea, this is what I think would be brilliant. They come on it a good 5 weeks out before the wedding, bang, and I guarantee they will help and then arm them to carry on
for future stuff.
Because in the day, that when you get married, it's not this finish of the journey. It's only the beginning.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle change.
It's not just part.
Exactly. It tells you it's part for the fat as well as the.
When they get that comfort, So that's where that idea come from. And then so I had the residentials, but I wanted to do it with a difference. So what I've come up with, I think. Hopefully, once I get a mark of that, we get people from England going. This is where we're talking about being behind. I looked and I saw these boot camps in England, and there's some cracking, really good ones. But it's all about the luxury experience.
Yeah, of course.
Whereas, what about and they're getting that thing, but it's so expensive. You're talking it's £1,000 a week.
Yeah.
So I looked and went,
a week.
Yeah, it's a week, 1,000. But if, like we said, if you can know you're going to start, and I had one person ring me up, and she didn't know about me. She just sent her daughter to England for 3 weeks.
Oh wow!
So to really help with that weight loss, or even if it's not weight loss, you want to get into fitness.
Yeah, of course.
And it's outdoors. So I looked at it and went, right, I can pitch that at 650 quid. Which is a lot cheaper for them than all that. And there's only one down south in the Republic.
Okay.
So I was going, right, okay, this demographic, if you're going to stay away for a week, well, why wouldn't you come from Cork?
Of course.
Or places like that.
At least staying in Ireland, it's not that far to travel as well.
And now that they've got roads and you've got rid of the horses.
Finally,
but
it's not
you're
that.
flying.
Well, this Brexit could have what's happening. All sorts of walls are erected.
Don't start as we're on different device. So I look, it can be definitely achievable, I thought. And then I've got a weekend one. So I went, well, let's cater for, you've got weight loss. Well, I can condense it and I can make that for the really adventure people who want to go away for a weekend and do something different. So that's where I got Mercury Mayhem.
People kind of want a taste of maybe the military style training, but don't want to commit fully to going to the army.
Yeah.
So you're kind of meeting them somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, well, this is what in England this was talking about, Stephen. Okay, let's forget about what's happened. Because it's we're slowly moving on. that form of training is so unique, and people wouldn't mind having experience. So they don't come across and I get them to stand and throw water over in the middle of the night. Come in the morning. There's nothing like that.
I even noticed a lot of people love the camaraderie of the type of training that brings that you don't get when you go to the gym. You don't get with a PT session. Yeah. You actually get a group of people that we can be loosely a family after training together for a few months.
We're dominantly my boot camp in Bangor at the minute. That's what is really taken, and this is what comes a bit to the community, which is what Northern Ireland's so strong with. That it is all about the community, and I've tried to now instill that in that.
That's the exact phrase we said in the very first podcast. It's all about community.
100%. Yeah.
Well, we keep banging on about it because it's so true.
If you can crack the community, you can crack it. And so my little gang and people are now becoming friends from it. So we're slowly getting, and hopefully I get them to come to other places, but it is so hard to crack, but it's so, if you get it right.
And you've seen a progression.
My Bangor was really tight now.
Social media is great. I mean, they've got 3,500.
3,000. And Instagram's a bit tougher.
It is. We already know. We do the same thing. It's just harder to crack them all at the same time. But you get that community growth.
But I've learned, and this is one thing I've learned for someone that was wanting to start, was the mistakes I made at the beginning 2 years ago. But the problem is, as well, is obviously Facebook has changed
dramatically.
I wish they were still what I was 2 years ago, and I knew what I know now 2 years ago, because it could have grown so much quicker, because what I was posting would have gone far better reach if I'd structured it better. I wouldn't have wasted money on the ads and actually not targeting it. Instead of just doing $5, or because I've changed it, and doing just not even going right now. Like my demographic is 20 to 40 year olds. So I'm going to pinpoint 20 to 40 year olds. I'm going to pinpoint it in that area instead of the whole of Northern Ireland.
What advice would you give to somebody watching that are thinking of starting anything?
Have the kahunas to do it.
Okay.
At the end of the day,
say with conviction to the camera.
Have the kahunas to do it. Because look at opportunity. What I would say is look at what you go and what do you think people need? At the end of the day, sometimes though, if you put someone on and they don't want it, that's them.
What was the motivation for you to work for yourself?
Firstly, doing that horrible job.
Secondly,
I want to, and it has been a hard slog for the last year and a half. I mean, it's not even anywhere.
We can relate.
But really, puts on a massive strain.
Especially with family as well,
family relationships.
So much,
but I keep looking and go, right, I've got a niche that I know no one else is doing. And once I get it right, and once it's out there, because that's the, again, you need the funds to. It no matter how good you think it is, and even make my.
You need energy and you need passion.
Exactly. You do, because when you.
He's got none of that.
No, absolutely.
None, guys.
Not even dripping anywhere. When
PC, come on, make a PG, not that long. Well, edit that out.
We'll make sure they beat that out.
But you have if you sat here and you went, Jay, I want to come with you, and I went, what I can do is I can help you. Not going to sell it.
No.
At the end of the day, but this is actually genuinely my personality.
Yeah, of course. That's the thing. There's nothing fake or false, and that comes back to the social media stuff. Everyone puts out nonsense that's just not them. Whereas you're putting stuff out that's it's you and it's raw.
All the spelling mistakes, it's me.
Well, exactly. People are humans. For goodness sake.
People like personality.
Exactly. My grammar is shocking.
That's why we've got the great ladies in the GoFit that are doing the job.
Never mind write English. I can barely speak English.
Well,
we normally have to put subtitles out for Andy every time. We've had less.
I will do the translating.
Talking back to the points, and they're going to do the age-old question. Everyone asks this question, but is there anything you would change from when you started doing the book? Started doing the book.
What I would have done was got a job that I was happy and then did this, as opposed to going full tilt.
Just to get yourself a base before, is that
get income and then have that, and that's like really top, and then you build that. That's what I really would have wished I'd done then. But the wife watches this, she'd be like,
What's some practical advice you can give to somebody that has just started something?
Practical advice. Practical advice.
That you found that you learned, or something that you found helped you?
Right, yes, a brilliant thing. Don't trust anyone. Alright.
Don't trust anybody?
No. What I'm saying, not don't trust anyone.
refine that.
Be careful who you trust.
Yeah, not reassurances, but be strong in the respect of, don't do anything without contracts. Know what your worth is, but don't overthink your worth.
Yeah,
very good.
Very
good.
And
very good.
Just be sitting there going, right, okay, and don't always have a backup plan.
Yeah.
Think if that's not going to work, what am I going to have in place?
Because I guess you've got a subconscious presence, you've got a family to provide for.
Yeah, that is what that can do, and this is where starting this, probably if I was without a family, would be easier.
Of course.
Is what affects you at home could adversely affect your decision making on the business, which isn't the correct decision for the business.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're then money, you're then trying to do quick fixes as opposed to keeping your plan going, and then you go, right, I'll do that. When, yes, what I've tried to do is I've still got that long-term plan. Next year's for the residential Valencia, the boot camp residential here. That is my end result.
So explain to the viewers
where do they need to go to get to this?
What is this? First of all, what is it?
What is it?
Right, so we've got our Northern Ireland residential boot camp getaway.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're thinking, I'm not taking a week off to be in Northern Ireland, okay, but I like going away, but I want to change my lifestyle. I want to get fitter, I want to lose weight. I wouldn't mind doing it in Spain.
Yeah.
So I set up a boot camp in Valencia.
Okay.
And it's along the same lines as residentials in the UK, but it's just where you've got better climate. You're going to take some time off. You're going to be in Spain. You're going to have an apartment. You've got a beach. You've got some time out to chill out, but you've got time to rebuild yourself or reinvent yourself.
Rewire or whatever.
Whatever you're looking at, we can take you away for a week or 4 days, because in the day sometimes we want to have it.
And you see that somebody's really making an investment in themselves.
Yeah, so we'll come in and I've got instructors, so it's just not me. You come on it. We've got you have an apartment. We look at what you do. Yeah, it's all inclusive. Yeah. And this facility is fantastic. And it has apartments. We've got a gym that is used by.
And one of the luxuries is you get to train outside, which is not always the case in Northern Ireland.
No, we always train outside in Northern Ireland.
We don't train outside when it gets to wet.
We train outside with nice weather.
Yeah, but you get to train there. Good, amazing training facilities. There's actually a spa there. Whereas there's other boot camps I've looked at the ones in IB from Marbella. They are boot camps where one you stay in a hotel, and you go on the promenade. I'm sure it's a great standard.
Get down and dirty and get into
it's the fact is you're going and training on a public space. Yeah. Whereas I have a training city where it's purposely for training. Yeah. But even the beach, it's quite a secluded beach. You're going to train on the beach. You've got a sea there, but there's also pools for you just relax. There's a hill. We take you basically to do what I call as an achievement day. So we're going to go up a hill trek. And for some people that might not be something they think feasible, but we'll get out there. And in Ibiza there's only a 2-hour ferry away as well. So if you want a wee trip. Yeah, wee trip.
So Jay, what excites you about the future?
We haven't even asked him this question before. Never asked him this question.
What excites me is working with GoFit.
Oh, okay. That's a nice plug.
You did tell me to say that.
We actually did this time.
But what excites me is future projects. It's definitely getting the residentials off. The Valencia, the boot camps here, and especially the weekend one as well. I'm looking at maybe corporate to help with fitness as well. But in the spine of team building. So fitness, but with an element of they work as a team. So the weekend, if you come, say you had a stag do and there's 8 years, and you come on it, and then there was another group who were just on it, you would be competing against them in physical challenges. But you get to do zip lines, you get to do assault courses, you get to get muddy, you get to do command tasks. We have like goggles on, but it's out in the air and it's energetic.
What is it you think about that brings people together?
What is in team, that sort of stuff?
I'm really interested by that whole dynamic. Like, why does training like that really make people feel
it's and I'll go back to my military days, but that's bread and butter. That was how you trained. Because the old you're only strongest, weakest link. If you watched Bear Grylls last night, but it was you had to work as a team, because no matter what you want to get done, you couldn't do it as an individual.
No, of course.
Okay, unless it's the 400 meters
It's a good point. It is.
But then they always had that 400 metres relay.
Exactly.
So there was always progression.
No, it is. You always look forward to the relay. That's what I always felt like. Yeah. That's the same analogy.
Because as well as if you didn't win, it wasn't completely always your fault.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You're like,
no, don't.
So true.
But I think what it is, it makes it so good, is that you're not the only one in pain. Yeah. You're not the only one having to work hard. You're not the only one laughing. You're not the only one who's falling over.
Not the only one who's crying as well, too.
Yeah, and you're doing it together. And
at the end of the day, you go through it together.
We're social beasts. As much as people get in the gym, they put their headphones on, and they train. We always want that interaction. Exactly. And so you're outdoors, you're training, you're having a laugh.
We always all of us have nearly a sense of belonging.
Yeah,
you want to belong to something.
Yeah, of course you do. You want. Well, it's even going back to years. Community.
Yeah.
Tribes.
Yeah.
You know, that's why rugby. I loved rugby because rugby is two tribes.
Exactly.
And it is a war.
Come at each other.
It is a war, and then afterwards you got absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You do banter. You forget about what's happened, and you just have fun.
I was a young 18-year-old lad playing adult rugby. You know, going. You know, this is amazing because they're so much physically stronger. Totally. And I was seeing we had one where I was in Norfolk, and I played county level rugby.
Elite rugby over here.
What position?
Fly half or fullback. Well, then went progressive.
I was going to say prop.
Well, that was when I was a younger day, but I wasn't as athletic as I am. But I just remember the camaraderie, and we went on a rugby tour to Gloucester, and we had these the old boys peering in through your keyhole, drilling holes in walls, and you were scared, you know, going good scared.
Yeah.
And then I remember this one game, and there was a fight, which when you're allowed to fight in those days without getting a red card.
Yeah, get a red card.
And then I saw the opposite numbers, the flanker's sister hitting this bloke Tilly in the head, and then afterwards we were all laughing and joking about it. But in that 80 minutes, it was war. Yeah. But everyone was together. Everyone, you know, and I had that. And what you lost together, you won together. You know, and it tasted that bit better. As much as it's great doing it on your own, when you're part of a team, you
share victories.
You can talk about when you did that silly pass, you know, and between the leg, Jace again, you were amazing. But you know, but next time, you know, tackle. I was always terrible to tackle. I didn't, you know.
How do you see that? Down the line really impacting Northern Ireland? Do you think it's going to benefit Northern Ireland as a whole?
I really hope. What I want to do with the boot camps is, like I said, is people in the mainland England, south, going. Have you heard that boot camp where you actually go stay for a weekend and you get to do assault courses, zip lines, loads of team fitness, absolutely, you know, and you go away busted, but loved it because it's just not one of those. And we're talking about the luxury ones. You come on it, you have 4-star bedroom, you go and do a Pilates class. Which is great. Like on the Valencia one, I'll have yoga Pilates in it because you should. And it's not more than one way to skin a cat.
Of course.
My way of training is not always the way for everyone. Okay, and you know you should always have those elements. And one bloke I messaged said to me, "I don't believe in groups training."
Yeah.
That would be me saying I don't believe in PT.
Of course,
everything has its benefits. And you know, it doesn't mean I've got people come to my boot camp and they have PT with other people. That doesn't bother me.
No, of course.
They want to do other things, you know. So, you know, have that broad mindedness. But all I think I could get is people seeing it and going, that looks great. I'm going to go to Northern Ireland, and because they're not the smartest cookies in England, we're going on holiday abroad.
It's abroad, yeah, exactly.
We're going abroad, you know. So I'm not saying I'm going to single-handedly up Northern Ireland's tourism industry.
Well, but you will.
But you know, bring in 3 people.
Target in tourism here.
Of benefit effect.
I would like to think that because of airlines, you know, maybe. But I'd love people to come across and then the south get all their money because they're loaded down there.
Exactly.
You know, bring in Northern Ireland. You know, so I really want that to develop. So and in Valencia, anyone can come on that. The whole main, you know, anyway, even Germans.
Yeah, exactly. So Leo or
German. One more question about practical advice. What advice would you give to somebody that's experiencing a plateau and wants to break through it?
Plateau is every hill you ever walk up will always have a plateau, but then it still goes back uphill, and then when you get to the top, it's plain sailing to the bottom. I just made that up. That's a load of rubbish. What I would say is you're gonna have them. At the end of the day, everyone, unless your name's Usain Bolt, you know. But even he had a false start and didn't win
true,
once,
exactly.
You know,
he's ups and downs, peaks and troughs.
Yeah, you peaks and love that peaks and troughs. Okay.
You know it.
You're going to have a plateau, but you've just got to go in. And if you have a plateau, why?
Yeah.
What have I got to change? It's like a training. You get your biceps.
Yeah.
You keep working it. You get in those 20s, and there's like Joey said, "Damn you 15s!" For a friend, you're going to plateau. Why am I plateauing? Right. Okay. I'm doing the same. I'm doing the same thing continuously. So what do I need to do? I'll change it. Okay. Now it might drop down, but sometimes we have to take a step back to go forward.
Yeah, that's all the good things as well too. That sort of stuff. Just to add interlude. Don't want to interrupt what you're doing, but in regard to like logging it all, I think that's a really good thing for people. Logging their training diaries, logging how they've done things. Keep an eye on what you're doing, because if you say that the plateau is going to come, we'll then realise, well, what have I done the last number of months and weeks, and why has it hit this plateau? So that'll give you a bit of indication.
But one thing that don't be scared of, there will always be a plateau.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
so keep changing it up. I keep learning.
Yeah, and I always tell my clients, in respect of when you're training, I always use a car as a perfect eulogy, whatever it's called, not analogy. Okay, eulogy. And in respect to your training, is a bit like a car when you're in the city. Yeah. Okay, when you have to change your gears in the city, your fuel is depleting quicker because the engine's on work. When you get on the motorway, 6th gear, 60 mile an hour, it just gets into that rhythm, and its efficiency is great. Yeah. But in your training, this is normally for weight loss. I go, your weight loss is then that's that plateau. Yeah. Because you've got in that efficiency level, you're down efficient. Change those gears up. Yeah. Change them up, drop them down, bring them up, drop them down. Change direction. Yeah. It will then start getting the benefits, and you'll start seeing changes and get rid of that plateau.
Right, well, that's a great way, I think.
Yeah, I think a nice way to finish it off there. Yeah. So a pleasure. Thank you very much for being on the show.
It's always a pleasure to come and see the Go Fit boys.
You know it. We'll be tagging a lot of things in on social media. So tagging all your Facebook page and things like that on your website in Valencia Camp, because that is it's been great.
It's going to be epic.
And thank you very much. We'll see everyone next week for the next version of the podcast. Thanks.
That's number 6, boys. Just in case.
Just in case we don't know, there's after 5 and 6.
Okay.
Right.
Cheers, lads. Thanks very much.
Thank you.